Okay, and welcome to another video. So this video is just going to be on a few tips that we have for when you're trying to be a consistently profitable swing trader. So there's a lot of different things that people can go over, and obviously they're just about 5 tips that we have. So we're going to go over basically what we think are the most important aspects to keep in mind when you're basically swing trading and trying to become consistently profitable. So the first tip is to be patient, and this comes in a couple forms. So the first form is to be patient with your sizing. So obviously, to do with risk management, you want to be patient and make sure that you're not over risking and sizing in too big, because what will happen if you're risking too much, you are likely to have quite a few losers in a row. That's part of trading that no one really tells you and no one is that transparent about. So having lots of losers in a row, if you're risking too much, you've obviously got the chance of blowing up your account or getting your account to the point where you're at such a low balance that you can't really claw it back. And to claw it back, you need to make 200-300% just to get back to where you started. You also have to be very patient for your setup to actually happen. Obviously, if you're swing trading, you're not getting trades every day. You're probably going to be getting trades maybe 2-3 a week, some more, some less. Again, it's dependent on your strategy and how your setups basically occur. If you're using, some people might use a correlation setup, so that might take even longer to wait for the correlation to happen. There's a lot of factors that go into this, so essentially be patient with sizing and be patient for your setup to actually occur. So secondly, we obviously think having a strategy which is repeatable is absolutely essential to your success. So you want to find a strategy that basically you can identify on the charts in a very simple way, and you have a very strict set of rules and a very strict set of constraints you have which qualify this to be a particular setup. The more simple your setup is, the easier you will find it. Thirdly, you want to stay consistent with your strategy. One of our biggest issues when we started trading was what we kept doing was jumping from strategy to strategy to strategy. And that all just comes again from having a few losers in a row. What you'll have is you'll have 5 losers in a row and you'll think that your strategy either doesn't work, you need to tweak it, you need to change it, which sometimes is the case. However, most of the time, you simply were just in a losing trade. Your analysis does not mean that you were wrong. Simply the market has gone against you. You don't know when a hedge fund or an institution is going to put a big sell or buy order in, which is potentially going to ruin your position or your analysis and then make your trade a losing trade. And same with winners. What the problem is, you find that you'll have a winner and you think my analysis was right, so my strategy is always right, which is not the case. Analysis is just a really small part of your whole trading strategy. You need to understand that just because you've got a trade right does not mean that your analysis is always going to be right. And just because you've got a losing trade doesn't mean your analysis is technically wrong. Your analysis is just basically an educated guess as to where you think the market might go. Our next tip is to stop looking for the secret formula. There is no secret formula. A lot of trading strategies, a lot of trading plans are all very simple, and they're very simple so that you can repeat them, as we've said earlier, so that you don't get confused, keeps you mentally in a good place with the markets. There's a lot of stuff out there that people kind of say, oh, I read the market as the market is going. And yes, some people might be able to do that or claim to be able to do that, but at the start you're really going to struggle to do that and get some consistent results. You need to almost trade like a robot, where you have a very strict set of rules and a simple process to follow. If you're just starting out, another good tip is to basically get some education. Now, this doesn't even have to be paid education. If you can find enough free resources, this is fine, you can do that. However, find someone that you trust. It doesn't have to be us, it can be anyone. Find someone that you trust that shows results, that is consistent with it, and potentially look into getting some education from them. Trying to start completely from scratch by yourself is very difficult. If you get a bit of education and a bit of understanding of the markets and how the markets move, this can really shorten your learning curve from being years and years to probably being 6 months to a year, especially learning a strategy. A strategy in terms of technical analysis can take as short as a month to learn, maybe even shorter if you really study it hard. So get some education, because this education will also hopefully allow you to basically mold a strategy into what suits your personality and suits what you have going on in your life. So some people might be in full-time jobs, and in that case you'll want to potentially be swing trading and use limit orders. So if you can find someone that you can emulate that from and then potentially tweak it a bit in terms of entry times when you do your analysis, how often you trade, all these sort of variables. A massive thing is you've also got to understand that you're responsible for the work you put in and for your success. I'd highly recommend not to be looking at what everyone else is doing. Don't look at what other people are saying in comments, don't look at other people's analysis as such. I think this can really, especially if it's nothing to do with the education or the strategy you're following, I feel like this can really distract you from what you're actually doing, and you'll just end up going from A to B, back to A, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, just things like that. You're really not going to get any kind of consistency in any process. You're going to end up doing one strategy one week, another one the next week, and realistically your results are going to be so varied. And a big reason for these varied results is because you're not meant to be, as Mark Douglas says, who I will link some of his videos in the description, you need to be trading on a sample basis, not a trade by trade basis. So a lot of people are very short-sighted and they'll go, I lost that trade, the strategy is wrong. It's simply not true. You're going to have losing trades even with a technically winning strategy or an edge in the market. You're always going to lose. And that's something you just need to get over and understand that it's part of the process. So yeah, basically try and follow 1 or 2 people at most and don't look what everyone else is doing. So I think I'll wrap the video up here. And I know these might not seem like really practical tips, like, oh, I'm not telling you a strategy, I'm not telling you how to constantly win trades. But these are the things that will actually make you consistently profitable. Find something, have tunnel vision with it, really focus on it and let it play out. Don't be so quick to jump and say that something isn't working. You really need to just give it a bit of time and be patient with it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. And also if you have any other video suggestions, just leave it in the comments below and I'll see you in the next one.